welcome back. So today we'll be doing a reading for the fire signs. But before I get into that, I just want to give a announcement that I'll be moving my recording, reading days, and uploads to Monday and Friday versus Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will still do the astrological days as well, like full moons, new moons, eclipses, conjunctions, things of that sort. Just with my new schedule, that'll work way better for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this reading. As you guys can still watch this always live on my Instagram. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're going to get into the fire signs. So if you have any fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius in your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this message and reading should and will apply to you. If it doesn't, it don't. So first we're going to go ahead and get a proverb for the fire signs for the month of October into November. So we're going to go ahead, Spirit, for our fire signs, Leo, Sag, and Aries. What proverb you have for the month of October for the Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, the sun, moon, and the rising? It's not your card. For sun, moon, and rising, card either. Well, you guys got two. It's not letting me decide which one to put back. I only was doing one for everybody else, but you guys got two. So we're going to go ahead and read that. You guys got 18 as well as 40. Okay? So, all right. So, and give me a second. Sorry. All right, so number 18 is work on what has been spoiled. So above is mountain and below is wind. Wind blowing against the base of the mountain can cause much damage. There is no place for the wind to go as the mountain is immovable. Thus trees and dwelling places are ruined. In such a case, there is nothing to be done but repair what has been spoiled, working carefully to avoid weakness and vulnerabilities at this time. Weaknesses and vulnerabilities at this time. It says, wind blows against the mountain, repair is needed. Okay, so it could have been a situation that was out of your control. It could have been a challenge, a force, or anything of that sort. And it's a means of that kind of loss that you experience, that kind of change that you went through, that transformation, whatever it is. It caused some things to dwindle away due to the wind, due to the new life, new breath, new opportunities, new circumstances, because that is wind, that is air energy, right? Whereas new forthcoming, new vibrations, new perspective. So with that coming in, it could have possibly felt like it ruined something, or it could have ruined something, what you wanted, what you thought you needed, or things of that sort. And it's now a means of now you can work on that as repair, and work on that as well, so that way you are able to get through this, solve the solution, and fix it. So again, working carefully to avoid weaknesses and vulnerabilities at this time. It's a means of like the full moon in Aries reading that I did. It's a time for healing. It's a time for that. Yes, you can still make progress and still continues to go forward, but at this moment in time, it is a time for healing on your part. And so be careful to avoid weaknesses of doubt, shame, stress, worry, things of that sort, or vulnerabilities of oversharing, of not trusting in yourself, of just putting your life in other people's hands, things of that sort. So again, allow yourself to repair the things that you felt are damaged, lost, changed due to that as well. Because the next card that you have is 40, which is deliverance. So you're thinking about what you went through, and now you have to repair and change it. Now it's time for deliverance, which is above thunder, below water. Since the thunderstorm clears the air and refreshes the earth. So we're thinking about the air ruining the earth in your previous reading, and this is saying the thunderstorm is going to clear the air of what was causing that and repair the earth is what they're asking you to do as well. You're seeing how this is progressing forward, okay? It says, it says the thunderstorm clears the air and refreshes the earth. So it is when troubled times end and deliverance is at hand. Release from pressure allows a return to everyday life with a renewed sense of gratitude. Attend to necessary affairs with all possible speed as good fortune approaches. Okay, so again, if we're thinking about the 18 and how you were going through stuff and how you have to repair it, and it was spoiled, and it was, the wind coming in, now it's saying that the water is going to give you that alleviation. The water is going to help you. So make sure that you are still attending to those necessary things and not relying on your weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Okay, because now that you are returning to everyday life and recognizing that you can, it is going to pull that into that deliverance for that abundance. Okay, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get your animal energy spirit for the month of October, fire sign. So spirit, what is the animal energy that our fire signs are exuberating for the month of October? For Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, what is the animal spirit energy for them for October? For Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I only need one card, spirit. Only need one card. One card, please. You guys get a lot of water energy. That seems like it's going to be working for you. The water is just clearing out the air, helping to replenish the earth, which is your environment. It could be your relationships with you, yourself, and the career. It can be replenishing what you feel like you lost and helping you to mourn that loss properly and heal towards that. But a lot of water energy is also allowing you to tap into that feminine energy of nurturing, of being receptive, of being sure and confident, of healing, of trusting in your intuition. And water is leading by that as well. And that is what is going to help you, as we can see from the proverb. And this is also what you will be exuberating, is a lot of water energy, fire. All right, you could be dealing with the water sign. You could have water in your chart, but it's a lot of water flowing through you. So we're going to go ahead and read the animal spirit energy that you'll be having for the month of October. You guys got 2 2s, right? Everybody else is getting one card for this, one card for that. You guys got 2 2. So if 2 2 has been significant, if you're turning 22, if you are 22, who knows? But 2 2 2 can be significant, or 22 can be significant as well. So let's go ahead and pull up the water. The crocodile is first, so we're going to go ahead and read that. The key words, again, this is the energy, the animal spirit energy that you may be portraying, exuberating, or have the essence of within the month of October, okay? So the key words are resting, submerging, cooling off, and collecting energy, okay? This reminds you to take a step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. It says the crocodile's mantra is wait. It says this doesn't mean lying around hoping life challenges will disappear, because obviously that's what the proverb said. It's not that. It's actually repairing the spoiled and tending to it. It says it means intentionally withdrawing, gathering your awareness, and observing and building energy. So that way when the deliverance comes, as you are making those repairs, you're not relying, like I said, or allowing your insecurities and vulnerabilities to be at the forefront. This is moving intentionally. This is allowing yourself to weigh out the options, weigh out the costs, and take that step back and see what has the wind destroyed on the earth, and what can I use the water to repair. Does it need to repair? Does it need to be let go? Okay? It says, fill up the vital sources so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. Okay? Wisdom and power. And it's very powerful, and it's very meaningful, and it is set up for you. Okay? So again, this is the perfect time because, like I said, you were going through something, but that something has ended. Especially if we're thinking about the full moon, the fiery climax approaches for the full moon in Aries, which is tonight. So taking all that in and recognizing that is going to be very powerful and substantial for you to just cool off and rest. So that way, when you are healing, when you are repairing, when you are moving, when you are changing, when you are gathering that deliverance, that abundance, and that prosperity, that it comes from a place of wisdom when you are making your next move. Okay? It says when you are in balance, you are wise. You are using lessons, experiences, pain, and hurt from the past for your life now to make quality decisions for the future. You are patient. Excuse me, you are patient, right? Patient means you are ready to receive information. It means you are ready to take it in on a different perspective. Look at the bigger picture. Again, see what needs to be fixed and taking the time to do that without stressing, worrying, doubting, or fearing. It says you are a silent powerhouse, right? The same way the water is repairing it, that is silent, right? It is moving it. The thunderstorm was able to clear out the air, and now the water is coming through for you. Okay? So a silent powerhouse. You don't need to announce every move that you're making. You don't need to announce every change that you're making. Put it on the forefront. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm happening. Just allow yourself to be the silent powerhouse that you are. Intentionally withdrawing and gathering your energy and feeding it to the vital sources, like it said, for that destruction that did happen. Because when you are out of balance, you feel stuck. You feel stagnant. You feel like you made the wrong decisions. You feel like you won't make any future good ones. You feel like everything is against you and coming at you, and it's not worthwhile and it's not worth meaning. Wow, my phone is at 22%. It's charging, but it's hilariously there, which is a number 2 you guys are getting. So thinking intentionally about that. Do you feel stuck, or are you actually stuck? And if you're actually stuck, how can you actually repair that? Right? So taking that in, and it says lashes out. When you are a silent powerhouse, you recognize your power. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to braggadocious. You don't need to be overexcelling. But you lash out when you feel like you can't deal with the issue. When you feel like you got to take action. You feel like you got to move, right? You feel like, I got to say it now. I got to do it. It's just that you have to. It's okay to cool off, to submerge in that water and do that. So be mindful of that in October, of what is in balance with the crocodile, but just being wise, patient, and being a silent powerhouse, right? Versus when you are out of balance and you're feeling stuck and or you're lashing out at people with no means or a sense of being. Because to bring back into balance, you want to rest. It can be taking a nap. It can be taking a day off. It can be just taking an extra hour before you wake up. Going home early from an event, whatever it is, resting your mind, meditation, maybe some getting a massage, whatever relaxes you. And also the crocodile pose, which is when you're laying flat on your stomach. You're putting your hands like this, and you put your head down. You can also turn it. That's a little more comfortable for you. But that is what the crocodile pose is. And it just allows you to just breathe. Feel your stomach going up and down as it's raising your body. Hearing and feeling your breath allows you also to take that moment to submerge intentionally. Okay? So the second spiritual energy that you will be feeling is the well energy, which is the water energy, of course. Okay. Okay. So the well energy, the keywords are the desire to dive deeper or delve deeper, profound peace, and ancient wisdom. It says this represents profound emotional health and stability, which is that deliverance coming through. Well personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. Those lead back to the wind kind of cracking out the foundation and ruining the trees and the livestock, and now you are replenishing that and allowing that to grow in a different light and aspect. Okay, and being able to make those wise decisions and be wise like the crocodile and have that knowledge. It says these experiences have enriched them, giving them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Right? because you went through this and now you cleansed it out and now you're here. It says, well, energy is usually linked to feminine forces, like I said, that feminine energy pulling in of compassion and communication, right? Compassion to yourself, compassion to the environment that was ruined by the wind, the changes, the sacrifices, the things of that sort. And it's compassion and communication. And not in a means of, like I said, this is not a means of discussion, but communicating to yourself, setting up a plan, communicating to your environment. Right now is just a time for that. Okay? It says you can depend on well personalities when all else seems lost, which again, you may or may not struggle with when you're feeling stuck with the crocodile energy. It says entrust them to be a beacon in your darkest hour. Okay? It says when you are in balance, you are calm. Right? That can lead to having those daily routines, living your life, looking at your life and saying, I fixed this, I repaired this, I chose this, I got myself here, I moved myself in this way in this operation, and I'm calm about it. Because when you recognize what you were able to do to get yourself in this position, you feel a sense of ease with making decisions and choices and choosing to live your life and have that abundance come in for you. Have that joy, have that healing come in for you. You are steady and can be financially stable, relationship stable, because like I said, it isn't okay with emotional expression and traversing the difficult terrain. Okay? You have steady feet. You are in balance with yourself. You are grounded. You are steady within your mind, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Okay? It says you are deeply compassionate. And not like a fake way, and not in a self-sacrificing way or sabotaging way. You are actually compassionate, where you are able to be empathetic and understanding, where you are able to extend a listening ear, right? An opening heart. You are actually deeply compassionate. Look how deep this well is, but that's the light coming off of them that is allowing it to see like, oh, it's at the surface. It's really deep, and so are you. It says when you're out of balance, you are heavy, right? You ever feel like there's a weight on you, or you can have headaches, which is also like a heaviness. You can have pain within your body, which is a heaviness that you have to bear with. You can feel heavy. You can just feel tired, lethargic. That is also heavy. So it could be an actual, like feeling like you're actually weighted heavy, which is a thing, or it can be an emotional weight that you're carrying, or a spiritual weight that you're carrying. It says it slips into old story, right? If you're slipping into old story, it's going to be quite hard to stand on that foundation if we're thinking about the 18 card and the wind has already ruined a lot of what it is. That's why the deliverance with the 40 card comes in, so that way you don't slip into that, so that way it is able to clear out the air, so that way you can see new ways of being, which is why they want you to intentionally take a step back, which is why they want you to be okay with being more open and sincere and communicative in those ways. Because if you want to bring it back into balance, it's literally regular self-care. Regular self-care. And it's not just mani and petties, which is a really great way to do it, but it's also how you talk about yourself, how you think about yourself is regular self-care as well. Who you do or don't have in your environment. What are your daily activities? Meaning, what are you consuming? What are you thinking about? What are you doing? Right? Regular self-care. And that also allows you to be deeply compassionate because you have this introspection on your life without the neglection of anybody else's. Okay? And that allows you to be more steady in your life as well. Because you recognize who you are and what you deserve and your worth. And you don't just accept any and everything, which can cause a quaky, shaky foundation. Okay? So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do what is and isn't working for you. Okay? For the month of October, fire signs. Alright, spirits, this is for the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo for the month of October. What isn't working for the collective for the month of October? What isn't working for the collective for the month of October? What isn't working for Leo, Sagittarius, and I almost said Virgo. Are you dealing with a Virgo? You have Virgo in your chart? Virgo energy. Last card. What is going on for Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries in the month of Okay. What isn't working for them in the month of October? I know I'm saying a lot, but Spirit hears me. They get that I'm, a little up there. Wow, you got a lot of. Okay. And then anything else that isn't working for Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries for the month of October, Spirit? Anything else that isn't working for Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries in the month of October? Okay. What is working for Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries in the month of October? Spirit, what is going to be working for them in the month of October? Will be working for the fire signs in the month of October. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right. So, for what is working, you have almost one from each prospect in my book. But you have the major arcana card, you have a mental card, you have a physical card, and you have an emotional card. The only card that you don't have a spiritual on the what isn't working, because that is on the what is working. So we're going to go ahead and dive into what isn't working, of course, because that's how I operate and go. So what isn't working for you right now, for the month of October, is authority. Okay, authority is what isn't working. And listen to this very closely based off of if you were listening before. It says this represents the masculine qualities of leadership, right? So we're thinking about you pulling more into the feminine qualities. Not saying not to have this, right, the masculine energy, but they want you to pour more into the feminine energy at this moment in time for yourself. Because then you have been a little bit too in the masculine energy. And the qualities of that are leadership, logic, strength, wisdom, and power. And it's not saying feminine energy doesn't have that. It's just in the way that it is expressed will be completely different. Okay? It says this card emerges as a teaching tool, and in doing so, it is encouraging you to develop or reignite these qualities and tap into the masculine aspects of yourself. Okay? So what isn't working is you feel like you can't have both, or you're leaning too much into that. I'm hearing you're leaning way too much into the masculine and not enough in the feminine. And it is great to have these qualities within yourself, but it can cause confliction when you feel like you have to lead your life to the point of not actually having information to lead it in the first place. And that can cause stagnation, right? That can cause you lashing out because now you make these decisions. You led yourself here, which is your life, but you're not happy with it. You're not really sure of it. You have fear of the choices you made or things of that sort. And it could be because of the 18 card where that wind was coming and kind of shaking your foundation. Okay? So to taking it in, like I said, it doesn't take away from these qualities. It's a means of maybe you've been into that. When you're too logical, you don't seem... when you're a little bit into the logical or the strength of the wit, it's just like you take away from the compassion and the conversation and the nurturing and the intuition and the well-liked personality of that feminine energy of that, okay? So keep it stuck. Okay, so it says other traits included are good reasoning and problem-solving skills, being grounded, and learning to develop strong mental control over free-reigning emotions. Like the well, it says it's okay with expressing that. It's okay with expressing this vulnerability. But it's also okay with being grounded, right? Like the well, that stability and having that. Was it the well that was stable? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Like the stability of the well and being grounded and taking that in, which is also, like I said, feminine energy of the well. Authority is masculine energy. So it's taking that in and learning in that. It says this appears to symbolize a father figure, so you could be dealing with dad and or daddy issues. It says, or an individual of wise authority who may be present in your life. It could be someone of high influence in business or a prudent friend who uses logic and reason to create a positive outcome. Ask yourself whether it's time to take on or emulate similar qualities. Okay, especially with you having to rebuild with that life, with that new breath, with that water, it's time to take that in. Like I said, it's not a means of taking away from your masculine energy in these aspects. It's making sure that it's okay to recognize your authority, but also pull in that feminine energy as well. So take in this masculine energy. Just don't be too much of the masculine energy, because this isn't what is working for you. So be too much of this and not enough of that. Okay? Whew. It says authority card. Sorry, it says use the qualities and characters of the authority card so that when you need to make a choice, you approach it from a place of wisdom, rationality, logic, and grace rather than of foolishness, belligerence, greed, or self-centeredness. Okay? The way in which you acquire, handle, and wield power and authority is now being tested, especially with the deliverance card. Especially with the deliverance card, which is why they don't want you to be too much in the masculine, because when you're too much in the masculine, again, it can lead to you being just foolish, belligerent, which leads to you also lashing out at people and all of these things, and it causes greed and self-centeredness. The traditional arcana card is the Emperor. Okay, so the next one that we have, let's see which one. I think physical is next. So we're going to go ahead and do physical, which is a firm foundation. So we're thinking about the proverb that you got where your foundation, your trees, your I wanted to almost say livestock was just gone because of the wind, because of new changes, because of new developments, new information, and all of this stuff that is happening, especially with the new moon, just the evolution of yourself. It can cause you to recognize that you need that strong, firm foundation again. Okay? So for the firm foundation, we have 79 is what the page is on. I don't know why I said that out loud. Okay, so again, what isn't working, it's not saying not to have a firm foundation. It's saying that you need to recognize it. I'm letting you know you need to recognize that your foundation needs to be firm. Okay? It says this denotes that you have already or are currently working toward establishing a solid foundation in the material world, which leads to the deliverance, which leads to rebuilding the earth. What you have lost is now being cultivated and created for something that will actually be stable. Okay? It says using good judgment and heeding lessons from the past concerning financial matters will assist you in laying a firm groundwork by doing so. So you could have lost a job. You could have lost a business opportunity. You could have got demoted. It could have been anything, right? Whereas this means of now you are now laying the solid foundation in the material world because of that wind coming in and wrecking shop in the best way possible. In the best way possible. That's why they don't want you to rely on your weaknesses and insecurities and have that be at the forefront. They want you to pull more into that well and that crocodile when you're being more calm and sure and being intentional about what you are doing and how it is operating for you. Okay? So, it says, security for a better chance of in the future. It says the material power that's now around you can either be an advantage or a disadvantage, depending on how you respond to it. And again, if we're thinking about the feminine energy, it is just receptive. It is ready to take on what it is for. That's not the only thing that it's about, but it's about being receptive for that and recognizing I can take this. It is for me and not a hindrance to me, not an obstacle. This is going to help me build my firm foundation. Look at this. It's literally on the back. And it is showing just like the mountain of that is inside of you and it is coming out. Okay? It says, don't let your current position determine who you are. Because if we're thinking about the 18 and how it withered away a lot of stuff, don't, again, I'm just going to read it. What does it say? It says, working carefully to avoid weaknesses and vulnerabilities at this time. I said insecurities, but that's what Spirit is telling me. Your insecurities couldn't take you to that level. But your weaknesses, which are insecurities as well. So we're just going to say I was right because I am. And the vulnerabilities. So taking that in and recognizing that is not who you are. That loss, that change, that destruction, that person coming out, because I know we had a lot of people that came out that they weren't for you. That revelation, that obstacle is recognition that that's not who you are, that is getting to where you need to be. Okay? It says, remember to get back and prime the pump of prosperity. For true spiritual and material wealth is as much about giving as it is receiving. Seek proper investment advice seek proper investment advice and realize that you don't have to hold on to your possessions too tightly, as you realize it's not going to work. Just be flexible and allow things to continue to flow, which leads back again to that beautifulness of the crocodile, of taking a moment and submerging. Take a vacation, take a break. You don't need to be the authority right now. You need to allow that authority to actually lead you to your femininity. It sounds, I sound like those fucking podcasts. But if you get it, you get it. Okay? So the next thing that we have are your emotions, which is, like I said, emotional loss. Right? And as you can see, it's literally this shell. I forgot what it's called, but it's like the makeup of life, but it's literally a shell, which is water, which is that. Then emotions, the well energy, they are not afraid of being that emotionally intelligent and bearing that, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull that in. This is the emotion card, by the way. I'm not sure if I said it. It says the number 5 emotions card comes forth at a time when you may be experiencing or grieving a loss of someone or something you were emotionally attached to, right? Which leads back to the last card where it's like you shouldn't, when you are creating physical things, you don't want to be too attached to it. Just know who you are. And this is letting you know also with the 18th proverb that you will experience a loss, that you will go through something, especially with the full moon in Aries is where the fiery climax approaches. And the reading I did is about healing and letting go and releasing. It's a recognition that you will be experiencing that. It says you're longing for change, and although one door may be closing, don't focus on your energy on it, as opportunity will soon knock, which is also the 40 energy, deliverance, the healing of that. It says a window or another door can quickly open, and if your attention and awareness isn't focused, you can easily miss it, which is why they want you to get back to your daily routines and regular self-care, things of that self, because that way you won't miss what is for you, right? It says watch for synchronicities, synchronistic events that bring books, speakers, workshops, and new people into your life. Like I said, you don't have to be the authority, the charge, the lead right now. Use those qualities to lead to being more compassionate, more receiving, more patient, more caring to self, and leading in your intuition and having that confidence and that strength and that resilience to do what needs to be done, because that is also feminine energy as well, okay? It says, have faith in divine timing and know that everything changes for a reason. This is a reminder that it's the perfect time to reevaluate and search within your heart and soul for fresh insights, which again leads back to the crocodile. And the well, about diving deeper, wanting to know more about yourself and how that in turn changes your environment, okay? It says, honor your feelings. Only by healing and loving yourself, by letting go of the past, can you continue your journey. Okay? That is the only way. You cannot hold on to what isn't for you. Oh, jeez, please. Pumpkin and cheese. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's just my phone. Perfect. Not perfect, but we're here. I'm sorry. It says the suffering could be associated with loss. The suffering associated with this loss delivers profound wisdom and knowledge for your soul. Your unique gifts, talents, and abilities, as well as your joy and sorrows, will not only make up who you really are, like I said, because that's not who you really are. That's not you. It will also make up, but it says, but better yet, who you will become. I'm sorry, who you will become. My hair is growing cute. Miss Louise. The painful experiences of life are equally as valuable as the joyous ones. Focus all your positive energy on the good in your life and what you're grateful for. Use your healing energy, which leads back to the full moon reading I did, in this way, and try not to focus on what you've lost. For new beginnings and happiness are just around the corner, which is also leading to the 4 foundation card. If you look at your numbers, you have 4, 4, 5. And the last card that you have is 8, which is trapped in fear. Okay? This means if you are continuously growing and evolving to certain aspects of yourself in your life. Okay? So speaking of the last one, we're going to go ahead and do trapped in fear. fuck? I just passed it. I'm just going to go to the number because I literally just seen it and then I kept passing it. Okay. 127. Okay. It says, again, this is what isn't working. It says, this card reveals that it's actually your own fear that has immobilized and trapped, that has you immobilized and trapped, preventing you from making decisions or choices, which is not what you're meant to do. Even if you need to take an intentional break and feed the vital sources of your life to heal what has been broken, it does not mean that you should not be making decisions, okay? It says you are the one who's holding yourself prisoner or hostage, which is why you also don't want to lead too much into that masculine energy and have the balance of both, because that can also lead you to feeling trapped because you're like, I need to do it. And just like you're taking too much authority in your life and not realizing that you can't control everything. Okay? It says, or hostage, in order to continue your journey, you must first face your fears so that the new people conditions can manifest, which leads to that deliverance, which leads to that letting go, and emotional loss. It says many individuals choose to stay in this place because they can't see the road ahead. They feel a misguided sense of safety there, or they're afraid of starting something new. Staying will only add to your levels of stress and anxiety and create adverse effects in your physical body, which leads to the proverb of not leaning into those weaknesses and stuff, okay? It says seek out wise counsel for assistance. You don't have to do this alone, but know that you possess all the tools that you need to free yourself. You're forgetting how strong you really are. This period will end when you use your mind to cut through the limitations caused by emotions, which is that emotional loss, right? And recognizing that what you lost is not who you are or anything, but it's helping you to propel you forward to who you will be and who you are, okay? So, what is working for you, it's going to be crazy, but it's obstacles and challenges. This is a spiritual card. This is letting you know that you will be facing obstacles and challenges, but you will be able to get over it. It says it represents obstacles, power struggles, and challenges that you must face in order to overcome them, which leads to that 18 proverb, because it's going to come anyway. The wind is coming anyway. This could be a difficult period to get through, but it's not impossible if you open your mind again and see the bigger picture of how something went wrong, right? Of why the wind was so easily able to come there, and which is why what isn't working is you lacking that firm foundation, but still building it and recognizing I can do this. I am this. Okay? It says don't get caught up in it. Just pause and stand back for clarity, which is the crocodile. Observe where adjustments are required or what decisions may need to be changed to enable you to move forward in a positive direction, which is the whale. It says life is really all about learning. Don't play the victim. Take the knowledge you've gained from this experience so that you can apply it to similar situations in the future. This card often comes forth when competition is around you, whether it's in your personal or business life. This is an excellent time to think creatively and ask yourself, and please do, how can I make myself shine above all the rest? So you're thinking about you went through this process, this loss, whatever it is, and now you're currently working on it intentionally and mindfully for yourself and for your healing and for your emotions, so that way you can have even more emotional intelligence and that deeper depth. It is how can you make yourself shine above all the rest? And that just starts with you loving and being on yourself. Okay? The last one that you have is solitude. Okay? Solitude, which is a major arcana card. It says stop. It really says it. Your soul is calling out and needs to be honored and heard. The answers you seek aren't necessarily found in the outer world. The time has come for you to step back and withdraw from outside commotion. They keep telling you to get the fuck inside. I'm sorry. They keep telling you, get your ass inside and work on yourself. Get the fuck inside. I know what you're doing. You're doing a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that, and you ain't even stepped back and looked and seen how your life is affecting you. Do what you need to do for you. Sorry. The solitude card is a reminder of how important it is to pause, still the mind, meditate, reflect, reevaluate, and discover the wisdom and answers within the very soul of your being. When you become more aware of your soul and heart, you strengthen the link between the divine source, and you're able to once again remember your true perfection, which is also going to help you to shine above the rest. Okay? It says, meet your soul halfway and schedule some alone time. Okay? The intentional pulling back from people to commune with your soul, and also to give the power of spirit the opportunity to reinvigorate your life with life force and vitality, which is also the whale energy as well, and the crocodile energy. A lot of revitalizing. Conserve your energy and deal with one thing at a time as you follow the prompts from within. When it comes to the moments of quiet inner solitude, it really isn't about quality. What's going on? I can't read. I'm sorry. It really isn't about quantity. It is about quality that counts. The soul constantly draws to itself what it needs in order to learn and grow. For example, during this period, someone may step into your life, and by sharing his or her own experiences, you may receive helpful insight and wisdom into your own, which leads to like the writer, the teacher, the spokesperson, or somebody coming up to you as well, right? In that recognition. In the traditional arcana, it is the Hermit card. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to round it out, and we're going to go ahead and get some final messages for you, okay? Alrighty, Spirit, this is our final messages for our fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo for the month of October. What final messages, advice, or words of wisdom do you have for the fire signs for October? Anything else for the fire signs? Yeah. Anything else for the fire signs? Alright, that's it. Y'all only got 2 cards. It says patience and understanding go hand in hand. Time to forgive and move forward. Right? With patience, it allows you to sit with an open heart, with an open ear of listening other ideas, other perspectives, other information, other experiences. And that way it helps you to better understand them. But if you don't have the patience to sit there and recognize, or even to sit there with yourself and reflect, you won't understand how this happened, how this issue arose, how you got to this point. It doesn't work. And if you have all the understanding but don't have the patience to apply it in your life and reflect and sit back, it goes nowhere. You have all this knowledge but no means of actually utilizing it. They go hand in hand for a reason. So it is time to forgive the past. It is time to help yourself heal the loss that you will and or have experienced, and recognize that it isn't you, and move forward. Because the next thing that they have is take a step back and reflect on past choices and actions. Take the lessons and use it for future and present wisdom, which is the number 666. Okay? We're just taking a step back and reflecting. Must be the crocodile energy, intentionally doing so and having that in your heart. Okay? So, fire signs for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. That has been your reading for the month of October. Hope that you gathered something, got some information, some insights. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe so that way I can continuously thrive and share the messages. But I love you guys. But love yourselves more. Until next time.